If this is your first time seeing one of my live videos, my name is Zaakirah, and I am a brand cultivating strategist and author and a cancer survivor, as well as a photographer and a podcaster. So I'm a woman, I'm a jade of all trades. And I wanted to come in today and talk about what I learned about releasing my first audiobook. Now, I'll also talk about what I learned about my first book briefly because it's all related and aligned. So my book is called Seeing Life Through a Different Lens. It's a survivor's memoir on overcoming adversity with resilience. And I self-published, and that's really how I was able to get the audiobook out. Technically within a month. Well, maybe you make that about 2 months because it's a three or so step process because you have to find narrators, then edit it, make sure it fits the requirements of editing because they are kind of sort of strict, especially if you go through the most popular platform called ACX. And then last but not least is uploading it. Thank goodness for the Woman of Color Podcasters group. I was able to find those who were doing voiceover before they joined their own podcast or would do narration or story style podcast and have um, never done a book, right? So definitely find a level of professionalism. Definitely find an audiobook person that you can connect with. Now for us, it's because it's a memoir. I wanted to find voices because it's my mom and I co-writing in the book. I wanted to find voices that resembled us. Both my mom and I have those powerfully deep woman voices, and I wanted to find narrators who also have the same thing. Um, So of course we had a bit of phone conversations. I had them listen to my own podcast so they can have an idea of my personality and mimic it, right? Audiobook is voice over is basically voice acting. So definitely find someone who knows what they're doing. And that made the process so easy, so much easier for me. So the first step was outsourcing narrators. Of course, you got to send them the book process. And then step number two was basically editing. Now, I was going to outsource to someone who literally used to work for Amazon, but this was before the virus hit, the recession and the virus hit. So I literally had to learn how to do it myself. But for me, it was kind of easy because I am a photographer first, and then I also learned how to be a videographer. And then, of course, I'm also a podcaster. The difference between podcasting and videography is no video, just audio. The difference between audiobook and podcasting is a little bit more technical spec that you have to pay close attention to. So I naturally am an Apple or MacBook user. So the program that I use is the same one I use for my podcast. It's Garageband, already installed on my computer. Those are the only ones that I can guide you with. Those are the only links that I can include in the comments. If you want to, make your own audiobook and edit it yourself to learn what websites and YouTube videos I literally had to review to teach myself this new skill. So I'm so proud of myself for editing this audiobook on my own. So there's just a few technical specs, such as making sure that the volume, like the high pitch or the excitement pitch, does not get too high, up to a certain decibel. And you have to make sure of that and learn the specs of your editing program to make sure that goes well. So I was like holding my breath to making sure that I did that correctly. So it was so exciting when about almost exactly 30 days later, the ACX said, your audiobook is not for sale, your audiobook is not approved. So ACX is good. Definitely also choose a platform where you want to host your audiobook. ACX is great because everybody uses Amazon. And it also is sent to Apple Books, Apple iBooks as well. So some people, who love to listen to your podcast can also then search for you and find your audiobook as well. So that's just how I did it on my own. And the most important thing is to definitely be patient because it's not an easy process. There's some moments where I got frustrated because for me, um, I got the I had two different narrators first and foremost. Like that itself was like two different tech specs. But also the good thing about narrating, depending on who you get, either they will edit their I's and ums and retake themselves, or they send you the unedited. It really just depends. So it really depends on your expertise. It really depends on how comfortable you are. So definitely do what you can, because editing an audiobook is not for everyone. But I already have that expertise as a video editor, videographer, producer. Um, but a book is definitely a great way to repurpose your podcast. Um, Audiobook book is definitely a great way to repurpose your podcast. So it's a great thing. Most people, especially moms, um, love them because they can still feel like they can indulge in a book without literally having to sit down and read, word for word. And especially if a kid or a spouse or a family member distract them and then they lose a page and then something else may be going on mentally that they can't get back to it. But mine is 2 hours or so. I'm definitely saving and backing up um, my file because I'll outsource it or reuse it, for promo, having a book trailer, things of that sort. So there's many uses to it. People tend to actually find audiobooks on YouTube now as well. So yeah, those are my few tips. I hope you learned a lot. If you have any more questions, um, I currently do not offer audiobook services, but I think it's coming soon. I have a media group that I think we're going to cater to those who are doing podcasts and audiobooks because we need more women of color doing it. So let me know if you have any other questions. Find me on social media at IlluminusOne, ILLUMINOUSONE, or go to my website, my first and my middle name, ZaakirahNayyar.com.